They have the world on the brink of disaster.
This situation is very serious, and we don't have very much time.
They claim to have nuclear capability.
They could sell it to a terrorist organization.
Their leader controls the minds and hearts of his people, like communist dictators from another era.
The iron fist is stronger than anything we've seen anywhere else.
It's the most successful totalitarian regime ever constructed.
Why has this once strong and independent people allowed one of the most repressive regimes to survive?
This goes with the Korean tradition of monarchical power.
How has North Korea arrived at its unique and perilous place in the world today? Kim Jong-il, absolute ruler of North Korea, is potentially the most dangerous man in power today. The man behind a virulent campaign of propaganda against the United States, Kim now claims to possess nuclear weapons and says he will use them if his regime is threatened. He rules over the most isolated nation on earth, a country the size of Mississippi, population 22 million. For years, he remained a hidden and mysterious figure. Now he has taken center stage. Yet his true intentions and nature are still open to debate.
He was portrayed as basically a very weird kind of person that you had no idea what he was going to be like. But when I met him, he was actually quite charming.
He may not have a balanced personality. Sometimes he's very, very reckless, and sometimes he's very calm. But he's quite bright and almost brilliant in his thinking.
He's nobody's fool, but he's apparently a very quixotic, compulsive, rather rash man. That aspect of him is worrisome. In a leader who's going to have his finger on a nuclear trigger, maybe.
The full extent of Kim's nuclear capability is still unclear. But if he actually possesses atomic weapons or the materials to make them, the threat reaches well beyond the region.
North Korea is ready to sell nuclear missile, nuclear weapons to any buyer at reasonable prices.
You can't stop a handful of plutonium, which is all it takes to make a bomb, a sort of grapefruit-sized lump, from getting out of North Korea. One of the things I fear about a nuclear North Korea is that it will sell plutonium to the likes of Osama bin Laden.
The reality of nuclear weapons in North Korea could also lead to a perilous new arms race.
Immediately, Japan will go nuclear. Then you have China will be alarmed. So no time will you have Sino-Japanese arms race. These are huge countries.
By all standards, the situation in Korea is difficult, the options limited. While the Bush administration does not rule out military action, the consequences of a second Korean War could be catastrophic.
The North Korean military is the 5th largest military in the world. It has over 1.2 million in uniform and has the ability to mobilize 2 to 3 million more. They have the largest submarine fleet in the world. They don't view using chemical weapons as their weapons of mass destruction. They see it as part of their normal doctrine.
Even without their use of missiles and unconventional weapons, an attack on North Korea could result in a devastating retaliation. Thousands of artillery rockets hidden in the hills just north of the border could reach South Korea's capital, Seoul, only 30 miles away, in under 3 minutes.
In 1994, the North Koreans said if anyone thinks they'll be contemplating an attack on North Korea, we can turn Seoul into a sea of fire.
There's no bigger threat than that. There are 12 million people in Seoul.